Alright, guys, good morning and welcome to the Bax official channel. I'm Bax and I've been trading for 3 years and a half now, almost 4 years of trading. So, this is the first video on my channel, right? So, on this channel is where I'll be documenting my trading journey from right here to where we're gonna ever get to. So, and the plan, the goal is probably the goal is actually to get to the top, right? So, with that being said, um, I'm going to be trading some prop firm challenges, and the goal is to pass evaluations and then get payouts. Right. So we are going to be doing that together. So I'll be dropping episodes week by week, right? And the goal is to get to um, $1 million in funding, right? So yeah. So today's Monday, 7th. Okay, Monday, July 2026. Right. So it's the 7th Monday, July 2026, right? So with that being said, I purchased a GFT gold funded trader prop firm yesterday. So that's what I'm trading today. I've had my setups and I've had the chart analyzed and I'm just waiting for some setups. Once anything comes up, I'm going to take the trade and also update you guys. So basically, that's it. So we head over to the chart and then I'll show you guys what I've been what I'm looking at. All right, so this is me taking you to my screen, and this is how it looks, right? Oh, okay. So let's head over to Trading View. I'm also going to pop up a screen record of the account of the 5K account I was looking, and then yeah. So basically, I'm going to explain my risk management on this account. Now the plan is to pass it fast, right, or fade it fast. I don't want to be doing 1% risk on this account. I want to take A+ sectors and also increase the risk to 2%. That way, I only need like two trades to pass phase one. I'm going for a minimum risk to reward of 1 to 2. Right? If I get a 1 to 2, that means I'll be doing two trades. And if I get a 1 to 3, probably need just one trade, one good trade, and then I'm passed. So, but anyway, now that's going to be the risk to reward and the risk management plan for this um, account. So yeah, so basically we are on my chart and this is trading view and I'm on the gold chart right now. So yeah, let's do a top down analysis so we can see what I'm looking at and what I'm waiting for. Okay, so we are on the daily chart. I'm gonna start on a weekly chart. So now just a quick recap of my strategy, the way I trade. Right, I trade supply and demand. So I trade supply and demand strategies in compliance with some other stuff like put into my trading. Um, I would say I trade basic price action really with supply and demand. You know, market structure. I take market structure really seriously because I mean that's the direction of the market. That's what tells you the direction of the market, right? So and but the way I trade gold is really different and really simple. What that means is the way I trade gold is um, indication correction and continuation market structure. That's the way I basically trade gold. Because I've noticed supply and demand on gold. Most of the time, gold doesn't really respect supply and demand. Most of the time, it does. But from my own back testing and from the strategy from my strategy that works on gold, is basically that. So with that being said, if we go over to the weekly time frame, we see that we are clearly on the weekly we are very bullish. We are bullish, right? Um, we had a we had a high, high low. Sorry, I have to retake that. So clearly we have a high. We had a high higher low, higher high, right? Then we created a higher low, we failed to make a high, and then we created another low. This is not a lower low. Why? Because why? Because this was the low that created this high. This is where we had a break of structure. So till this low breaks, this till this very low, till this very low breaks, we are bullish on this time frame, right? Till this low breaks, and then if we look further down and we look at this very structure, market structure right here, we are going to see that there's a very significant zone here, and this place is a higher low, which caused a higher high, which caused a break of structure. So now this place is very significant, and then if we come down, knowing we are bullish based on market structure, and then until this low is broken, we are bullish. So now, if you check, that was the lower low, and we have more like we have a demand zone right around this level. And if you watch what last week candle did, created sort of like a bullish doji, sign that buyers are stepped into this market at this price point, right? And then if you look at it very very well, you see that gold has been pushing down. That's had an indication, right? That's had an indication forward down. And then for this move to continue, we cannot just continue swinging down, down, down. We actually have to make some type of correction before we can maybe continue down, right? So on the weekly, we have established that we are looking to go bullish. Now let's go to the daily time frame. Let's see what's going on. Now on the daily time frame with market structure, yeah, you can see that we are pretty much bearish. Price has been coming, creating uh, lower lows, lower highs. You know, just count this lower low. All these are substructure though, but we have had a lower low daily, lower high, lower low. But I want you guys to pay attention to this level, right? We had a lower high. We're supposed to have a lower low, right? Price failed to make a lower low, created a higher high. It's a substructure, right? But basically, if we look at this structure, we will see that price has shifted from bearish to going bullish, right? If we look at it from here, we see that price has broken this level. Now on the daily time frame, price has broken this level. So two time frames are telling me okay, price is ready to go up, right? So ideally on the daily time frame, this is our strong low, our first ever strong low. This should be our first ever strong low. If price should break this level, the buy will be significantly, confirmed. You know, so but for the meantime, this is going to be our target. So let's keep moving down. Let's keep moving down to time frames to see what we are looking at on gold, right? And then here, now we are on the 4 hour time frame. So on the 4 hour time frame, clearly confirms we have been going down for a while. If we do the market structure again, we've been going down for a while. We've had low, low, high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. We failed. created a higher high, a higher low. Now we've broken structure again. So it is clear that we should be looking for buys on gold right now. Very, very clear. We should be looking for buys on gold right now. So on the 4 hour time frame, we should be so ideally on the 4 hour time frame, what I was looking at was for price to come down to this level and then tap us in and then react from this level or look for a confirmation on this level and then we'll take the buy. So but let's furthermore move down to the 1 hour time frame. Okay, this is the 1 hour time frame, and then we can see that price has been clearly bullish. So bearish change structure, price has been bullish. So we're expecting price to retrace down, to this level, probably, and then move. Right? So but we're still watching now, we're still looking at what price is gonna do. Price might not get to this level, but this should be the ideal level. So we're still watching what it's gonna do. So furthermore, if we move down to the 15 minutes time frame, I'm going to say that 15 minutes time frame, we had a shift of structure here, where price has, taken out this high, right? If you go to the 15 minutes, 5 minutes, you want to see it clearly. Price has clearly taken out this high. So here is the first trade of the challenge, first trade of the week, GBP AUD. I'm also going to pop up my MT5. All right, so I'm going to pop up my MT5 so you guys see how the trade is going. So we just entered actually. I see right around break even. So yeah, at this point we are over 1%. And you guys remember I told you guys I'll be risking 2% on this trade. So on the 5K account, that is $100. All right, so I'm risking $100. Right now we are up 1% plus on this trade. So this is Tuesday, the next morning, around 6 a.m. I just woke up and yeah, I'm trying to break even right now. I'm gonna be breaking even or reducing the risk because we're already up 2% plus. So I'm reducing risk. That is already we are up 1 point something. So I'll be reducing the risk. So let's watch. Let's see how the trade goes. So yo guys, this price is messing with us. So right around that level, price actually reversed on us. So we're back to. So it's the next day on Wednesday. This is right around New York section 4:30 p.m. So yes, still same on GBP AUD. You can see that level. So I saw that price was, you know, so I decided to take this trade. Yo guys, it's Friday and I didn't see any setup yesterday being Thursday. So yeah, this is how we're looking. Yo, floating in serious red. Yeah, floating in serious red today, bro. I'm not even gonna lie, like this is really crazy. This is really pissing me off, but yeah, I think this one is a loss. I think this is a loss. So yeah, so guys, that's today's trading for you. I was a loss for today, so we'll actually go again next week. I mean, that's trading for you. You lose today, you win tomorrow. You know, at the end of the day, we stay focused. So see you next week.